webinar, wherever you are this evening. Thank you so much for joining me as I'm going to present to you about the Organo Gold business. This is a business that is now in its 6th year, and one thing I can tell you that it is a business. I just want to start off by asking all of you that are here a question. How many of you would like to create a better life for yourself? How many of you would like more freedom in your life in terms of time, in terms of money, so you could just do more of what you want, when you want, and how you want to do it? Now, I would imagine that if you asked most people that question, they would answer the question yes, especially if they didn't have to do anything about it, like winning the lottery or inheriting money. But to me, it's something that I never used to think about. I used to just kind of live from day to day, and I was kind of hand to mouth sort of thing. If I ever had any money, I would just spend it. I never really thought big. I never thought about accumulating much wealth. In fact, I didn't have a particularly great relationship with money. And when I did come into some money through selling a weight loss program in 2003, I didn't really do anything positive with that money. In fact, I pretty much gave most of it away. But I've learned to have a different relationship with money. But when it comes to creating a better life for people, whether it's, you want more money, you want more freedom, it's kind of like a little bit of a game of snakes and ladders. It seems to be quite difficult to get ahead. Now, let me just tell you just very, very briefly a little bit about myself. So I'm a coach. That's what I do. I've been helping people for most of my life. Ever since the age of 16, I was kind of coaching people, but I really got into the world of coaching from a physical perspective when I was about 19, and then started helping people from a psychological perspective and became a pretty successful sports psychologist, having worked with some of the finest athletes to walk the face of the earth. All I ever wanted to do was help people be the best that they could be. But I tell you, it was quite hard to find people that were prepared to do what was necessary, especially in sport. In order to do what is necessary, you often have to face your demons, because it's your demons that often stop you from being your best, your fear, your worries, your doubts, your anxieties. But when you can help people address their insecurities, you often free them up to be their best. And the same accounts for helping people lose weight, which is another area that I've worked extensively in. But this is an area that I'd like to focus on with you a little bit this evening. And these are some quite well-known organizations, and I have worked for these organizations as an executive coach, doing team building work. And, I like working in organizations, but I'm glad I don't work in them full time personally, because it is pretty tough. And in most organizations, it is a pyramid. Now, people often think of pyramids as pyramid selling and schemes and network marketing, when really the real pyramids in business come for a lot of people who work in organizations. A lot of people who work in these organizations, not in all of them, but in many of them, you are at the bottom and there's one or maybe a couple of people at the top. To get to the top is actually quite difficult and means you working extremely hard and sometimes coming up against people's egos who perhaps don't want you to get to the top. So how did I find out about Organo Gold? Because that's the opportunity that I want to present to you this evening. And I just ask you to have an open mind and just be critical, but at the same time open-minded. Now, I never in my wildest dreams ever would have thought I would be involved in a business like Organo Gold. Why? Well, it's a business that is revolved around coffee, and you know what? I used to hate coffee, and it's also around building a business. And again, that was never something I was particularly interested in. I found out about it through, this is my wife, Hannah. She was diagnosed with a very aggressive brain tumor. She wasn't given very long to live. And I'm the sort of person that believes, there's an answer to everything. So she had therapy, she had radiotherapy, and she had surgery, but the tumor came back. We went off to America where she had treatment. And that's where we met Dr. Rakowski, who is one of the top nutritionists in the world. He invited me to come and see him, and Hannah came to see him, and he put Hannah on a diet, some supplements, and he just said, look, if you drink coffee, drink this. And that was our first introduction to Organo Gold. Now, a year and a half later, I was working for another network marketing company, not as a distributor, just as a speaker, going to some of their conferences and speaking at them. And on the fifth time of doing this, I phoned up Dr. Rakowski and I said to him, what do you think of these products that this company was selling? And he said to me, look, they're okay, I believe, but there are other much better products out there. And he said, but if you're interested in that model of business, look at Organo Gold. And I went, what? Is that a network marketing business? And he went, yes. Now, if you were going to take advice from someone in business, he might be quite a good person to go and see. And this is something that Bill Gates said famously not long ago, that if he was starting, again, he would choose network marketing. Now, I grew up thinking that network marketing was bad. It was wrong. It was taking advantage of people. Here we have the amazing Donald Trump. And again, he was asked if he was starting again, what would he choose? And he said he would choose network marketing. Network marketing is absolutely a credible business model. In fact, I can't believe just how wrong I was about the model of business. Personally, I think it's the best business model in the world, providing you find products that people actually want. If you're dealing with products that people don't want, or you have to persuade them to want, it's pretty difficult. And I personally believe that this type of business gives everyday people a chance to be successful, to own their own business with a minimum investment and be around amazing, great people. Now, in 1910 in America, it was estimated that 80% of people had their own businesses. In 1980, it was completely the opposite. 80% of people work for organizations. Now, this is a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I don't know how many of you have read this book, but personally, I think it's one of the best books ever written. And I didn't read it until a few years ago, because the personal development books I was into they were more kind of spiritual. They were kind of more about just thinking, not business, not thinking about, not relating to the way you think about business and your relationship to money. And in his book, Robert Kiyosaki explains that 90% of the world are employed or self-employed. And those 90% generate 10% of the world's wealth. The other 10% generate 90% of the world's wealth, and they're either business owners or investors. So most people like the idea of being their own business owner. Being an investor requires money. Being a business owner requires money, unless you get into business with someone else who maybe owns what you do, but it's hard. And a lot of people like the idea of it, but what do you do? It's like a game of snakes and ladders. And that's why for so many people, they just settle for the status quo. They just settle for the norm. And I think so many people are so much comfortably uncomfortable. Comfortable that they can afford to live their life, but everything is a challenge. Everything is, how are we going to pay this? And just having enough money, like striving not to be poor, but never to be rich. Now, when my wife when she was treated in America, that treatment cost about $300,000. So that pretty much took everything that we had, and we were left penniless. And one of the reasons why I want money is I don't ever want to be in a position where money is an issue again. I mean, I don't know if that makes me wrong, but it doesn't. I don't want to be necessarily a millionaire. I just don't want money to be a problem. And you see, one of the things about this business, which makes it so amazing, is that the business is dependent on who you help. If you don't help people grow, I used to think it was about taking advantage of people. It's not. Let's face it, only a few percentage of people who come into this industry are successful, because you have to work at it. And like so many things, if you don't work at things, you don't get anywhere. Network marketing, not work marketing. So Organo Gold has been going for 6 years, and this has now done $1 billion in sales. It's outgrown what Facebook did and what Google did in their first 5 years. Look, Starbucks. Who would have believed that 30 years ago we'd have coffee everywhere? We've become a coffee nation. The world is addicted to coffee everywhere. People say, oh, the French love coffee. Yeah, you want to see what the Australians, they absolutely love it. You want to see the Brazilians, you want to see the Austrians, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Finnish, the English, the Irish, the Scottish, everywhere. People love coffee. It's the second most traded commodity in the world. And Organo Gold is an incredible opportunity. I tell you, its mission is to be the most admired company in the world. And I thought that was a joke when I first heard it, but it will become the most admired company in the world. And already in less than 5 years, they've produced over 50 millionaires. Now, this is Warren Buffett. He's an American business magnate investor. He is an incredible man. He's ranked as one of the most successful investors of the 20th century. And look, this is what he said. Look, what you do should be your hobby, but what the world does should be your business. So those of you that are in the fitness business, that should be your hobby. Making a business out of it is quite challenging. But what does the world do? Well, the world gets stressed, the world gets anxious. What does the world turn to? Coffee. Now, is there anything wrong with coffee? Well, I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. I think if it's poor quality, if anything's poor quality, it's probably not going to be that good for you. And a lot of the quality of the coffee that people drink is poor, and they go through the whole day relying on it. But coffee is quite acidic. And here comes just a little science lesson for you. People know that apples are good for them, right? But how many people do you know eat apples or eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day? What Organo Gold have done is they've taken something that's healthy and put it into a habit that people already have. You should never have to sell coffee. You should let people try it. And that's what happens with this product. People try it, they like it, they want it. Coffee is acidic. What does that mean? For a lot of people, there's a reaction. And the reaction in many cases is they get the jitters and they feel uncomfortable. They have a crash. What do? They go back to the coffee. Organo Gold is healthy. Why is it healthy? Well, let me tell you. It's got this in it. What is this? It's an ancient Chinese mushroom. It's been around for, some people say, 4,000 years. I think there's evidence of it being around a lot longer than that. And look, these are 2 of the original emperors in China. And what are they holding? They're holding that. Why? Because they believed it prolonged life. They believed that it was their most prized possession. If you were caught with this and you were not in their royal family, they would chop your arm off. If you were caught with it again, they'd chop your head off. And we're not going to do that to you if we find you taking these products. And I just want to make one thing very clear to all of you. Me, personally, I would never be in this business if it wasn't for this being in the products. I'm a person who is committed to helping people be healthy and now be wealthy. And I think there is this stigmatism attached to wealth. But yet, why should only some people be well? The Chinese call this that it's a treasure to them of the earth. But if you drank this on its own, good luck. It's very bitter. People wouldn't drink it on their own unless they're extremely health conscious. So what does this thing do that makes it so magical? Well, pharmaceutical companies have done extensive studies on this, over 2,000, and they found that it's an incredible nitrate donor. What that means is it dilates your blood vessels, it gets more oxygen into your body, and it's also very, very effective in minimizing inflammation in the body. And many Chinese people used to live to a ripe old age, many living to 120. Most of us won't do that in the Western world because of inflammation that is related to heart disease, diabetes. Now, we're not saying that drinking this is going to save your life, but the Ganoderma in it could do great things and does great things for your body. Now, this picture here, I just want to share this with you. So I've been in this business with my wife for nearly 2 years, and I absolutely love it. Why do I love it? Because of the amazing people we have in our business. And That guy right in the middle wearing the bead thing around his neck, that guy's name is Mr. Holton Buggs. He is the #1 income earner in the world of network marketing. And the guy to his left, that is Mr. Jose Ardone. Now listen, look at him very carefully. 6 years ago, he was earning $24,000 a year as an air conditioning repair person. Last year, he earned close to $6 million in Organo Gold. How did he do that? He followed the system. He stuck to the system. Now, 2 places to Hannah's right, with the guy with the gray hair, that's Mr. Shane Moran. He is the global master distributor of Organo Gold. He earned, I think, maybe $12.5 million last year. He's the co-founder of Organo Gold. And people say, well, didn't you need to be in there in the beginning? No. If you do your research, you'll realize you wouldn't want to have been involved in Organo Gold right in the beginning. They had so many problems and issues. They've generated a business that is so ready for everyday people like you and me to take advantage of, to help other people and to create a better lives for us, for others. And next to Shane Moran at the back, that's Dr. Rakowski. Now, what I'm going to actually do is Hannah and I were the top producers in Organo Gold from September until January last year. Let me just show you this.
Congratulations, Pete and Hannah! And we got Hannah, and we're not telling you where we are. Pete, just want to say congratulations to you and Hannah. You guys are the top producers, recruiters in Organo Gold since September of 2014 up until January of 2015. 39 personally enrolled new distributors. Absolutely amazing. You got all of your leaders, diamonds, and crowns. I know you guys want to say something to Pete here. I know you couldn't be here, so we took the helicopter for you. So I crown the crown ambassador. Say something to Pete, guys.
Good, Pete. We'd like to say congratulations. Seriously, you've done an amazing job. What an example for all of us. We are inspired by your example and go for more.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, and we'll see you soon. Right here. Congratulations, I'll see you in the Diamond Club.
Congratulations, Pete.
Way to go, Pete.
Congratulations, Pete.
Bye, Pete.
We love you, Pete. I want you to remember, it's easy.
It's simple. It's quality.
Pete, don't go.
The OG Roses, Pete and Hannah.
There's no need to show you too much of that, but this business came out of my wife having cancer. If she hadn't have had it, I never would have found out. I might have found out about it, but I don't think I'd ever have taken it seriously. And we love this business, and we love the people that we're helping every single step of the day. We got to present in front of 10,000 people in Vegas last week at the Organo Gold Conference. So look, normal coffee, it dehydrates, it raises stress level, it raises blood pressure, it's acidic and toxic, it causes jitters, it causes caffeine crashes. And Organo Gold coffee, it balances the pH levels of your body. So all pH levels in your body are all hormone activity. So all the hormones in your body, from testosterone to insulin to estrogen, they're all pH dependent. And if your body is acidic and you don't eat a particularly good diet, you could have hormone challenges, which will massively affect your body. And this is what we find from so many people who drink the products. They have more energy, they feel better, they sleep better, they're just in better shape. They feel calmer and peaceful because Ganoderma has an adaptogenic type nature to it. So it can make people feel quite calm. This is Dr. Rakowski. He is the guy who introduced me to the business. These are some of the people that he has worked with. He is definitely one of the greatest nutritionists in the world. And look, those of you that are into business, please look very closely at that. That is Think and Grow Rich. It's one of the most well-read books it's in the top 10 of all time. And the Napoleon Hill Foundation, this was written in 1937 by Napoleon Hill. There are hundreds of millionaires that have read this book and say, this is the book. This is the book which inspired them, which gave them the perspective, which gave them the belief. The first time in the Napoleon Hill Foundation, they partnered Organo Gold. Why? Because Organo Gold are doing exactly what the book says. They're helping people to think and grow rich. And if you just want to have a look at this, and listen, you may be the sort of person that is aspiring just to earn maybe a couple of £100 extra a week or a month. But if you're looking to earn huge money, look at Jose Ardone. That was the guy that said, "I see you at the Diamond Club." He earned, look, over nearly $5.5 million last year. Holton Buggs, the guy in the middle, look, 15.5 million. Look, I know it's not all about money, but money does make life easier. And it is possible because with coffee, every single person you meet is a potential customer. Is it the right business? Well, you know what? That's up to you to decide. Here are the 4 fastest growing industries in the world. The internet. Look, you're watching me online. Home-based business. I'm working right now. Where am I? I'm in the comfort of my own home. I'm not driving anywhere. More and more people love the idea of working from home. And I can tell you, there's nothing that you or I can do. In fact, there's nothing you or I can do to stop Organo Gold becoming the most admired company in the world and being a $10 billion business a year. You could do something about that. You could even have a piece of it. Health and wellness. How big a business is that? It's worth trillions. How many of you drink bottled water instead of tap water, or take supplements, or join a gym, or whatever you do? Health and wellness is big business. And coffee. Coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world. In fact, now some coffees outtrade oil. And it's the second most consumed drink after water. Let me tell you, Organo Gold is a super business because it combines all of those 4. Your business, when you get into it, you get a website, and that's where you manage your business. You can work from home. You can work anywhere in the world. You could work in 39 countries in the world. With Organo Gold, I have business in Ireland, Australia, Canada, America, soon to be Hong Kong, if we've just launched in Hong Kong. Turkey, we launch in March. It's a super, super business. And look how much money the coffee business is worth. Just in Europe, 104 billion. An average of 3.3 cups are consumed per person per day in Europe. And the likes of Starbucks and McDonald's and Burger King and Dunkin' Donuts and Nestle and Subway and Costa and all these companies, they've made it acceptable. I love these places because they've created a market for us. I don't choose to drink their coffee. I think I've only ever had 1 or 2 cups of coffee in my entire 3, I think I've had, and I didn't like it. 2 of them I felt really ill and not well. But with this, I just feel great. So what's so great about it? Well, you know now, right? It's that mushroom. That's what makes our product healthy. Organo Gold is built for the future, has incredible certifications. The products are kosher. They're all halal, GMP certified, USDA organic, eco certified. We have the largest Ganoderma facility in the world. We have a great range of products: green teas, red teas, black ice, mocha, hot chocolate, latte, something for everyone. And we even have the product in supplements. And if you picture a mushroom, there's 3 parts: the part under the ground, which is the mycelium, then the mushroom itself, which is the Ganoderma, and the spores of the mushroom. This is when it germinates. And this is so powerful. I think that this is one of the best superfoods in the whole world. This is Mr. Greg Norman. He's the global brand ambassador for Organo Gold, because we now have coffee, espresso coffee, which fits in most espresso machines. And 3% of these products have 100% organic Ganoderma. These are the 3 heads of the company. The company is becoming known as a company of great leadership. Mr. Bernie Chua, the CEO, Mr. Shane Moran, and Holton Buggs, which you saw in that last video. I was really privileged to spend some quality time with these people last week, and they are just great people wanting to inspire everyone to do great things. There's Greg Norman again. There's Manny Pacquiao, who's in Organo Gold. Organo Gold advertised at the most recent Barcelona Real Madrid game. These are some other famous people that are in the business: Non Evans, Reese Priestland, Richard Lee, Ben Flower, and just us, everyday people that are in this business. And these are just some of the people that we all work together, helping each other. Organo Gold, look, it's big in France and Italy, and that's because of leadership. And that's what we're generating here in Great Britain. So there are actually, it says 7, there are 8 ways to get paid. And if you want to find out more about this, we'll be more than happy to explain it to you. But let me just say one thing. Most of us just get paid one way. In Organo Gold, first way is just sales. You know, whether selling a box or selling it by the cup. We have a number of health clubs and salons and people who run special events who make considerable sums of money just by selling product. And then there's a bonus when people come into your business. Organo Gold give you a small bonus. And this is the jewel team. Now, when people see this, they often think, oh, well, that's a pyramid. It isn't a pyramid. In fact, it's actually quite misleading. Basically, when someone comes into your business with the 3rd level of payment, which is called the jewel team, you can earn up to 20% of every single person who comes into your organization, 20% of their first 2 orders. And these are just rankings. My wife and I, we're Ruby consultants. And the better you do in the business, the more the company rewards you. The 4th level and 5th level are all to do with people when they reorder the products. And that's what so many companies die for. They do anything for brand loyalty. And I don't know if any of you listening to this have loyalty towards a particular brand. Some people, it's Apple as opposed to Dell, or it's Mercedes instead of Audi. Brand loyalty is a tough thing to find. And I can tell you this, having done this business for quite a while, so many people are so loyal to this brand or these brands, they won't drink any other. And that's great for a business point of view. With other companies that sell products, other network marketing businesses, what do people do when they run out of coffee? They go and get more. When people run out of supplements and things like that, they often don't. It's not a major priority in their life. I know people that leave their house in the morning and they leave without their children, but never leave without their kids. The company also is very rewarding in leadership when you develop people in your business. And when you become a Ruby consultant and above, which my wife and I are in, you enter into a global pool where the company takes 3% of its profit and distributes it amongst those people and above in the business. And of course, the Dream Car program. Currently, my wife and I, we get 400 euros a month that pays for my black Mercedes. You know, again, I know it's not all about money. It's not all about driving fast cars, but it's nice. It's nice to leave a comfortable life. But what I love about this business, it's the legacy of what happened to my wife. And it's amazing to work with other people and help them to develop a better life. So this is a business that just for £190, you can enter the business. 190, you get 10 boxes of coffee, you get a website. Of course, people can actually even enter at this level where they just can buy the product to wholesale. So you might think, well, you know what? I just like the products, but I don't want to pay retail. I want to pay wholesale. So Organo Gold, it costs about £60. They give you a website and you can buy product. But if you're serious about the business, you've got to start off with bronze. You can upgrade to silver or gold. And the difference between this is just simply the amount of money that you earn on the jewel team, which is people's first 2 payments. So as a bronze, you get 10%, silver, you get 15, and gold, you get 20. But even if you sold half of this gold pack of 72 boxes, you get your money back. So Organo Gold's mission is to become the most admired company in the world. And you know what? I actually think it will happen. And I'm so privileged and honored to be a part of this business. And why it can afford to pay out so much money is the company doesn't spend vast amount of money on advertising, PR, and marketing. 50% of every product sale is distributed amongst the distributors in the business. You are invited to join our worldwide OG family and share in our success. So if you want to get involved, just make sure you contact the person who invited you to come to this presentation, and get involved. Find out what questions that you might have if you want to get them answered, or if I've invited you here this evening and you want to get going, then you can. Really is as simple as that. So I just want to thank